welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. I'm Monica, and today's video, even though we just recently did a trying new drugstore makeup video, is a trying new high-end makeup video. This one cost a bit more to get the products for in order to film, but I'm still excited about it. We have a nice handful of products. We have almost an entire face, but not quite an entire face, kind of similar to the drugstore makeup one, which, by the way, just in case you would like to, go check that out. I'll link it up in the eye and down below. Shameless self-promo. But I'm really excited, so without further ado, let's go ahead and hop in and get to trying some of these products out and kind of see how I feel about them and if I think that they're actually worth that high price tag. Alright, so the first thing we have to try out is this new Milk Kush High Roll Mascara. I am pretty excited about this. It looks pretty promising. It, of course, is a tubing mascara, in case you didn't know, so I guess it's not an of course situation, but it was listed pretty obviously on the website as a tubing mascara, so it's supposed to be smudge proof, help with conditioning. Oh, it's got hemp seed oil, and it's vegan as well. So it's supposed to lengthen, define, and volumize lashes. I'm pretty excited. It really reminds me of, if you can kind of see, it really reminds me of the About Face mascara packaging. It's just very similar to that. Not that that one's like extra special, but it's like that, you know, chrome charcoal color. But I'm pretty excited. Let's see what the wand looks like. Ooh, it does look pretty interesting. It's a plastic bristle brush, but it's pretty sturdy. I mean, like, it's got a little bit of wiggle to it, but it's a little bit more sturdy than like the Maybelline Sky High mascara that is very, very wiggly. I've not loved tubing mascaras in the past. However, I recently retried the Caliray Come Hell or High Water mascara, which is a tubing mascara, and I really enjoyed that one. So I don't actually like have low hopes for this. I have like mediocre hopes. Like, I feel like it could go one way or another, where I either love it or I just kind of feel like it's fine. I don't think I'll hate it. But let's just go ahead and start applying it. I feel like Milk has really been coming out with these more innovative product launches, so I was pretty excited to see this, and also the brow product we're gonna try out today, but that'll be closer to the end. Oh wow, this is looking really good. It immediately added length, maybe a tiny bit of volume. Hopefully you can kind of see I always get mascara on my eyelids, so that's why I always start with it. I'm really liking the way that's looking. I feel like it applied really nicely. I think I may be able to work in a second coat. Typically, tubing mascaras, you only have one coat and then you're done. With Caliray one, I do feel like I have the freedom to apply 2 coats if I want to. This feels like not a super dry formula, but not a super wet formula, so I do feel like I have that little bit of wiggle room to apply 2 coats. So I'm going to go on this left eye with this first coat, and then I'm going to go on both eyes with another coat and see if I can kind of build it. I can feel that it dried a little bit between that first coat and this one, but I do feel like it's building okay. I actually think that it's looking really nice. I'm actually really liking the way that's looking. I feel like it's giving it a lot more volume that second round, while also maintaining the length I got from the first. So let's do the left eye and see what it's working with over here. I feel like this mascara looks really, really nice. It did such a good job on the second layer. I really liked the first layer, but I feel like that second layer is where the magic was happening with the volume. Added a little bit more length. I think it looks really nice. It's kind of reminding me of the About Face mascara in its formula, even though it is tubing. I will be interested to see how this like removes, how like the tubing part is. I know a lot of people care about that. I don't really care about that much. I just kind of care about the formula, but I do like to take note of it for you guys, so I'll let you know in the description box if this tubes off like it's supposed to. But right now it's really reminding me of the About Face one, and that's one of my favorite mascaras, so I'm really liking this so far. Alright, so the next product we have to try out is the Sigma Cool Neutrals palette. This is a bizarre name choice for this palette, but aside from that, I want to talk about the packaging of it, because truthfully, this is my favorite Sigma packaging of all time when it comes to their eyeshadow palettes. I love the little touches on the like the inside cover to protect the shadows. It matches the actual packaging itself. I think this is such a pretty like component, and I love it. Does this scream cool neutrals to you? I feel like the chrome is kind of hard to see, but honestly, when I saw this, I was like, I don't really know if I'd classify it as cool neutrals. There are a few cool tones, but then some of it runs warm, and not a lot of them are actual neutral colors. So weird name choice. They should have called it something else, like some different name, and then named another palette that they came out with later Cool Neutrals, and actually put Cool Neutrals in there. But I still wanted to try this out anyway. I did a poll on my Instagram asking you guys if you wanted to see me try out this palette, the Cool Neutrals, or the Natasha Denona Golden palette. I did end up picking the Golden palette up anyway, as you can see, and I'm really glad I did, because I felt like this, it's just such a neutral approach to warmer like shades. So I have been trying it out, and I've really been enjoying it. That one was one I just really wanted for myself. But you guys want me to try this out instead, and I'm down for that because I've been eyeing this palette anyway. I love Sigma eyeshadow formulas. The Sigma eyeshadow formula, it is one of my favorite formulas out there for when it comes to eyeshadow, so I'm pretty excited. I do want to play with some color since we're in here already. I'm thinking of playing with these two columns. So I'm gonna go in first with the shade Fossil, and I'm just taking the A503 brush, and I'm just gonna take it in my crease a little bit. Ooh, that is really adding a punch immediately. I'm just gonna go in on this side. I did apply the Sigma eyeshadow primer in the shade Persuade before jumping into this, sort of in honor of me trying this palette, but also because that's one of my current favorites. That one and the Ulta one, I just love so much. They're the best. All right, so I do want to go into the shade Talisman, and I just want to take the A502 brush and just like take it a little bit in the crease. This is like a tinier version of the A503. I love to use it for detailed stuff like this. I don't want to put too much, but I do kind of want to use this shade for a little bit of eyeliner too, and I kind of want to bring them together in that way. I don't know if it's going to work out. We'll see. I'm loving the eyeshadow formula so far. I feel like it's just beautiful as always. So smooth, pigmented, blendable, not patchy. It's really, really nice. I just don't feel like this eyeshadow look is screaming neutral. I feel like it's screaming almost kind of vampy-ish. I love a purple eye though, don't get me wrong, but I never call a purple eye neutral. Yeah, love that shade too. It's very plum grape, like a dark plum grape, and I feel like it just tied in with Fossil, the first shade I used, so nicely. So now I want to go into the shade Iris. I feel like this is the prettiest, like sparkly, almost like lilac-y lavender. And I just want to put that kind of in the center. This is so nice. Yeah, I'm really loving that shade with the mattes I used. I feel like they almost placed these in here like that on purpose. I feel like each little quadrant or group of shades in here kind of goes together. You know what I'm saying? Of course you know what I'm saying. I am tempted to take this shade all the way to the inner corner, but I do want to play with Laguna, which is like this pinky shade that's got a little bit of a shift to it. I just kind of want to. I feel like it's a little bit darker than I'm wanting to go, but we'll kind of see. I'm loving the formula on these. I love Sigma shimmers because I feel like they really pack a punch, but they're pretty wearable, but they do pack a punch, but they're also a very thin formula, which makes them very easy to work with. Yeah, I really liked Laguna, but I do want to go back into Iris and actually take it all the way into the inner corner, just right over Laguna, just to have like a pinky purpley shift in that inner corner. I don't know if it's super noticeable, but I do feel like you can kind of see it. I don't want it to be super, super obvious necessarily, but I do want there to be a slight difference between the middle of my eyelid and the inner corner. Sometimes I just dig into color and I like really enjoy it. In my latest drugstore makeup video where I tried a bunch of new drugstore makeup, when I did that pink eye, I was like, I actually am really like, this is so much fun. Why don't I do this more like for when I go out and stuff? This is such a fun eye look. Sometimes I do miss some 2016 era makeup. I am going to go back into the shade Talisman and go in on my Sigma EO6 brush, my absolute favorite for lining my eye with eyeshadow. I feel like it is so nice and easy to use and so thin. You can really get so close to the lash line. All right, so I'm loving this eye look. I feel like the camera isn't even picking up how beautiful it is. The shimmers are so reflective. I love the pigment and how not patchy the mattes are. Do I think this is a neutral palette? No, but if you look past the name and just appreciate the shades in here, you have a really good assortment of shades in here to play with. You do have some neutrals, but I do think they pull warmer. I am loving so far what we've got going on here. I'm loving the purple. I think it's really pretty. I think it's pretty wearable, and I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun pulling this out, probably in the fall, but also like for like a more upscale, no, that's not what I meant, for a more going out eye look rather than like day to day. But so far I'm really loving it. I absolutely love this packaging. I think this is so pretty when you open it up to the exact like cover. Love that touch. Everything about this I love. I just think the name is a little misleading and not really the perfect name for it, but it's fine. I do feel like it has a little bit of fallout, but honestly, I always forget to point this out in videos. Most eyeshadow like palettes that I've tried, or eyeshadow products in general that are powders, tend to have just a little bit. It's not a ton, it's a little bit, but that's why I always do my eye makeup first. Just in case you're wondering in videos, that's why I do it first. So the next product I want to try out is a foundation. It is the Fenty Beauty Naturally Luminous Longwear Foundation. It's the soft lit foundation. I got in the shade 125, and honestly I was kind of looking at it the other day when I first got it, and I was like, ooh, it's a little lighter than I was expecting. I watch Kelly Gooch, and she and I are pretty close in shades when we're fair. Like, she pretty much is always fair. I self-tan sometimes. This I thought was the shade that she got, but it's actually 150. So this might be a little light. I'm also a little concerned because the powder I got to try out today is also a little light. So I'm afraid I'm gonna go I'm gonna get pretty ghostly. I'm just gonna hope for the best. I'm also pretty scared, or I wouldn't say I'm pretty scared. I'm halfway scared that this could break me out. The skin tint, like the original skin tint from Fenty, it broke me out. I ended up decluttering it. The stick foundation, which I have right here, the one that broke me out is the Eavesdrop skin tint. This is the Eavesdrop stick foundation. This doesn't break me out. So I'm a little nervous. We'll see. I'm pretty excited to try this out, but I'm also a little bit nervous for a variety of reasons. The shade, it possibly breaking me out. We'll see. The shade might be fine. I don't know. We're just gonna see. It looks very light in the bottle, but I do feel like it squirted out a little bit darker than it's showing up in the bottle. The texture, very similar in like consistency to like the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear, which if you're new here, it's one of my all-time favorite foundations ever. And I think I did get a little bit much, but it's fine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix up some application methods because I love to use a Blendiful. I've talked about it before, but I like to try it like that for my own benefit to see if I like it, because usually Blendifuls are my favorite way to apply liquid foundations, but a lot of people don't use them. So I'm gonna do this cheek with a Blendiful, I'm gonna do my forehead with a sponge, and I'm gonna do this side with a brush, and we'll see if I need to smooth it out or anything with a sponge, and we'll just kind of see what happens on the chin. I do have a past breakout that lasted like 4 weeks. I think it's finally leaving. I'm gonna start with a Blendiful. I'll link the ones that I really like. I get them from Amazon. They're like a pack of 4, but I'll link those in the description box. Maybe a little bit light. I'm gonna try to look past that. It may be a little hard, but I'm going to try to look past that. You're probably thinking, oh, it matches your neck, okay. My neck and my face are a little bit lighter. I'm wearing tinted sunscreen. They're a little bit lighter than my arms, so I try to match my foundation to my arms and not the actual color of my neck and face, just in case you're wondering. Doesn't really have much of a smell. I do feel like it has pretty decent coverage. I'm really actually liking the coverage. I feel like it looks really nice. If I like this, I really hope it doesn't break me out, because that's the worst. Also, if I like this, I'd get a different shade. I'd probably get 150. Yeah, it's looking really nice. I feel like it's got a nice satin look. I don't have any primer on, by the way, just in case you're wondering. I just have my skincare on, so that's what we're working with. We're not working with any sort of like longevity or pore filling primer. Yeah, I am really liking that. I don't love the shade because, like I said, even though it looks like it matches, I feel like it's gonna make me look a little bit ghostly here in a second. But the actual formula is looking really, really nice. So let's go ahead and do the forehead. I've got this e.l.f. sponge, all nice and dampened. Just taking it off my palette. Oh my gosh. All right, I feel like I got a little bit too much, so I'm switching to a clean side. Let's see. Because I got so much on that first like dot onto my face, I switched it over to the flat part of the sponge and kind of distributed it, and then I've gone back in with where the foundation actually is located on the sponge, and I'm just blending it out from there. So I feel like it looks pretty good on the forehead. I definitely got less coverage, so the sponge definitely soaks some up, but I still really like the way it's looking formula-wise. I'm not loving the shade. It's definitely a little bit too light for my preference. So I'm going to take this BK Beauty 101 brush, and we're just gonna go in on this last side. Yeah, it's just a little bit too light. I do feel like this is so nice to have this shade option, especially for those who are much lighter. But I do feel like, I just feel like I look kind of like Uncle Fester right now. It is looking really nice formula-wise. I'm not feeling any irritation so far. Breaking out with Fenty foundations, I know I've only broken out from one in the past. It doesn't initially bother me. It's like the aftermath, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I need to like blend anything over, smooth anything over with a sponge. I feel like it's looking pretty nice. I feel like it's about medium coverage, and I feel like you pretty much get the medium coverage right away, so I don't feel the need to build it up or anything. You can still see that a little bit. I feel like it's covering it pretty nicely, so I don't feel the need to go in with a second layer on that one. It's okay on my nose. I feel like it's a little splotchy on my nose, but my nose is such a problem area, and it looks really good everywhere else, so I feel like I could work with it on the nose. I'd probably just apply it with a Blendiful like completely, because it's looking best on the Blendiful side as opposed to the brush side. So the next product I have to try out is this new concealer from Refy. I've never actually tried anything from Refy, but I'm pretty excited to, because I just feel like I might like stuff from the brand. I don't know. Oh my gosh, is this the shade? Why is it so gray? Do you see how gray this is? Maybe it's okay. It just looks so, look how gray it looks in the packaging. I feel like it still kind of looks gray. Did I just fail at all the shades when it came to complexion products? Normally, I don't do this bad. Oh, it says to shake before use. I've never seen that on a concealer. Whatever. I do like the doe foot. I know I kind of got distracted because of the actual shade, but I do like the doe foot. Let's see how the shade works. Unsure. It feels like a little kitten paw. Well, at least what I would imagine a kitten paw to feel like. I'm gonna do it one at a time because I don't know quite how much time I have to work with here. I'm gonna go in with the clean side of the sponge I used for part of my foundation application and just kind of go from there. I don't know quite what to expect from this. I do want it to look really smooth. I have a Deuce hair. Deuce is my German Shepherd. I swear, he's everywhere. I do feel like it's quite a bit brightening. I didn't leave it on there very long at all. I always apply with a sponge, except when I use the Angie Hot and Flashy concealer brush that is, I think it's described as a kitten paw brush, but it's pretty funny that we were just talking about that. Yeah, it's very, very brightening. Like, I feel like I look really, really awake, and it's really helping contrast against the eyeshadow, because if you wear purple eyeshadow, it kind of grabs onto the purpliness under the eyes and kind of almost pulls it together. So I feel like that really helped kind of camouflage that. I feel like this actually has pretty good coverage. Like, I would call this definitely higher than light, maybe even like a strong medium. So let's do this side. I don't even want to let it sit, which is what I normally do with like my Catrice True Skin, the Natasha Denona High Glam. Those are ones that you can really let sit. It could also be that this shade is quite a bit grayish. I don't even know, but you see what I'm talking about? Like, it's almost got that bit of like gray to it, to where that can brighten if you got the right pigment of gray, if that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like I look super, super brightened. It's actually looking really nice. I'm really liking the way it's looking. I'm still not sure about the shade. I feel like the shade goes okay with the foundation because the foundation isn't quite the right shade. I think I would want a different shade if I were to match with what my foundation typically looks like. But honestly, it's looking really nice. I feel like it did a really, really good job, and I'm actually, like, I expected to like this just because, I don't know, if I'm being truthful, because the packaging of Refy to me is very like high class looking in a very minimalistic way, and I just kind of always got the feeling I would like their products for no reason at all except for that. So I was expecting to like this, but I'm actually liking it more than I was expecting, and I'm really liking how easy it was to work with. I don't feel like the sponge took away any of the coverage at all, and I'm really enjoying it, so that's exciting. So I used the Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder and just did a little bit of setting under my eyes, and so now we're gonna jump into the next product, which is the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Pressed Powder. I'm pretty sure I called this powder foundation earlier. Sorry if I did. It's not. It's just a regular pressed powder. This was also in that little poll I did on Instagram where I asked which products you wanted to see more, like wanted to see me try it more, and I put this against the new Natasha Denona powder foundation, and this one won. I was actually kind of surprised. I really thought the Natasha Denona was gonna win, but it's a little lighter than I'd normally go, but I feel like it's gonna work with the ghostliness whatever that I have on my face right now. I do have this in the shade Translucent Light. I almost feel like I could have gotten Translucent Medium. Not really sure. I just feel like this is really, really fair. But we're gonna make it work. So I'm going to go in on the BK Beauty 105 brush on one side, and then we're gonna use the actual puff it came with on the other side. This is quite expensive, as most Hourglass products are, so I think it was like $55, but the Natasha Denona one was also really expensive. Yeah, the color is going nicely with the very pale look I have going on today. I love how throughout this video, I've just gotten paler and paler. It's actually really nice though. Like, I feel like it's allowing just a little bit of luminosity through, and it's also kind of blurring. I feel like it looks really nice. I have a piece of mascara on my face. I do feel like it took away some coverage. I don't know if you're gonna tell, but I had a pimple there at one point. I feel like it took away some coverage on top of that, which is odd. May also just be this formula in combination with the brush. So let's try out the little puff it came with. It's very cute. Just going to kind of like get a little bit and do this. I love the packaging on this. I mean, Hourglass always kills it with their packaging. It's always so cute and beautiful and elegant. Not cute at all, actually. It's very high class and elegant. I do feel like it's sort of helping out the nose situation that I was kind of dealing with the foundation. Like, I didn't feel like it looked terrible with the foundation, but my nose is always such a problem area, and I feel like it's kind of helping smooth that out, especially on the puff side, because you can really just press it in. I like how small the puff is. Like, it fits very nicely. This would be really good to like take on the go if you're wanting to touch up a little bit. So I'm really liking this. I don't know, I think it's like $55. I don't know if it's worth $55, but I do feel like it's allowing a little bit of luminosity to come through from the foundation, which makes it a little bit more natural. I feel like it did a good job of blurring, kind of tamping down any of like the shininess, while once again still letting luminosity through. So I think it's really pretty. I'll keep testing it out. I generally don't think that powders are worth like $55, but if you're like a big Hourglass fan, I think it's really nice. And I think it did such a nice job of kind of concealing my pores, especially because I didn't put on a pore filling primer. And so it's just making my skin look nice, which I enjoy. All right, so I just did a little mess up because I actually do have a bronzing or like contour like product, and I just put powder on, and then I also proceeded to put powder bronzer on because I was so desperate to warm my face up. But I do want to still try this. I feel like I still have maybe a little, like enough luminosity through my powder products to where this could work, but I did poll to see if you guys wanted to see the new Say Dew Bronze Soft Focus Liquid Bronzer, like in action, first impressions of that, or the new Makeup by Mary one, and this one won. This also shocked me. I really thought that Makeup by Mary was gonna win, and it did not. So I'm really excited about this. I wanted to try both. I actually have been dying to try the blush form of this, and I haven't. I got this in the lightest shade, which is Sand. So I actually want to, I think, what brush do I want to use for this? Typically for cream bronzers, I do use a brush. I think I'm going to try the Profusion FD1 brush, which is actually a foundation brush, and maybe I'll do the other side with a sponge. Oh my gosh. Why did I put it that high? I have no earthly idea what I'm doing right now, but it's fine. Put it way too high. Drag it down a little bit. At least my face will be bronzed after this. Like, at least I'll have warmed it up, because I do feel very pale, and almost paler than I normally feel. I'm very comfortable with my paleness for the most part. And I feel like I just crossed another line because it's not my normal shade of pale. It's not that serious, Monica. Why are we doing this? Okay. I feel like even though I took it way higher, I like put it in a highlighter spot, I actually really like how that's looking. I do like to lift my face. I don't feel like everybody needs to lift their face, but I enjoy it. That is looking so nice. I actually feel like it works really nicely with powder bronzer as well. I feel like this is like the Makeup by Mario, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Application method? That's not the word I'm looking for. But you know how with his cream and powder products, he says to put the powder first and then the cream? I feel like that's actually looking so nice. Okay, I want to do the other side. I'm going to put it high like I did on this side just to match it up. I do have a blush to try out, but well, it'll be fine. I'm going to use one clean part of this sponge just to see kind of how it works. Typically, I do like to use a brush with these kind of bronzers, but sponges are really nice as well. That's looking really nice. Okay, it's not taking away coverage. It's looking really good. Honestly, I'm really impressed with this. I feel like actually applying it above where I had the powder bronzer allowed me to kind of see how it worked without a powder bronzer underneath, as well as kind of blending it into the powder bronzer. Let me see how it works on top of a powder bronzer just for the heck of it. That may be the worst constructed sentence ever. It applied really nicely over the Hourglass bronzer. This is the second time I've had to apply a cream or liquid bronzer product over powder, and both times actually worked really nicely. Maybe liquids are becoming a little bit friendlier on top of powders. Maybe they're just being formulated better. I don't know. But that looks really nice. I'm loving that shade. I feel like I'm looking a little bit more like I'm used to seeing myself look. And I was concerned about the shade at first when I first put it on my face, because in the swatches online, it looks way lighter. And when I put it on, I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so dark. No, it's really beautiful. I think I'm still curious to try the Makeup by Mario one. I'll probably wait until the next sale to try it out though, because I don't feel a rush to try it out right now. But so far on this one, really enjoying it, and that's making me really want to try the blush because it's like a nice veil of bronze. I'm really liking how it warmed up my face a little bit. I did pick up the Kosas Blushes Life Baked Dimensional and Brightening Blush. I got it in the shade Dreamland, which is supposed to be rosy bronze. I'm actually pretty excited about this because I love a good glowy blush. My favorite is the Cosmetics one, the Heaven's Glow blush. My go-to shade is Baroque. This is the shade I use all the time, and you can see it's very neutral, very pretty. Kind of got that a little bit of bronziness to it, so I have high hopes for this. I think this is going to be a little bit more glowy than that one. That one's pretty glowy. I mean, it's not like, it's almost like a satin look. I think this one's going to be an in-between of like the Cosmetics one and the Rare Beauty one. I felt like the Rare Beauty was a little bit much. I really liked it, but you have to be in the mood for it. I feel like I just heard drums. That was so weird. I think this is so cute. The component is like way smaller than I thought. I don't know why. I just feel like online it looks way bigger, but I'm excited to try this out. I'm going to go in on my A507 brush from Angie Hot and Flashy. Oh, it kicks up a lot when you initially put it on your brush, so I don't want to go in too heavy-handed. I'm actually going to put it right around where I put the Say, because that's actually where my blush and highlighter normally go. Oh, that is looking so nice. I'm really liking the way this is looking. I feel like, yes, it's glowy, but it's definitely, like I anticipated, in between the Cosmetics and the Rare Beauty. It's a little bit closer to the Cosmetics in finish than Rare Beauty. Like if Rare were on one side and Cosmetics were on the other, it's more over here than like in the center. But it's still really pretty, and the Cosmetics one has glow. This one, I just am really liking this. I'm wondering if the glow varies from shade to shade, because I have seen some swatches on people where it looks very glowy, but this one is looking really nice. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm loving the shade. All right, so now that the complexion is looking a little bit more put together, I have the Milk Kush High Roll Brow Tint. This is supposed to be a tubing brow gel. I don't know. It sounds very interesting. I got it in the shade Haze, which is supposed to be their blonde shade. Same kind of packaging as the mascara, like with the chrome, like the dark chrome. I just want to go in directly. The before and after pictures for this product were a little odd. I actually preferred the before because I felt like the after was a little bit oddly spiky. Not in like a laminated brow way, but like a unkempt way. I don't know. We're gonna see. This is what the spoolie looks like. It kind of just looks like the mascara wand, but shorter. I don't know about the shade. We'll see. The spoolie's a little bit larger than I was wanting. I'm scared. I feel like, yeah, there's definitely, it's a little bit darker than my normal brows, the difference, but not in an unflattering way. I feel like it looks really nice. I do feel like the spoolie makes it a little harder to navigate, because sometimes I like to like pinpoint certain areas I want to fill in more than others. I feel like I don't quite have that freedom with this, but it's still looking pretty nice. Just like certain areas that are sparser than others. I'm still able to do it. It's just taking a little bit more concentration than say like how I normally am with like the e.l.f. Wow Brow. That one's so small, but it's looking pretty nice. I feel like the shade's pretty good. I think I could go a smidge ashier and lighter, but I don't feel like I look totally crazy. It's definitely got almost a little bit of a hairspray feel. It's very stiff, but not in a bad way, just kind of where I feel like it's gonna stay nicely. If you have super fine eyebrows, I'm not sure how well this would work, because I've heard that sometimes like heavier duty eyebrow gels can actually weigh down fine eyebrows, but with like coarser eyebrow hairs, I feel like it would be really nice. It's definitely got that hairspray feel, like it is set in place. You do have a little bit of time to kind of mess with it and adjust, but I think once it's in, it's pretty much gonna last. I should have been saying this throughout the entire video, but I am gonna be putting wear notes down below on each product, because I'm gonna have a bit of time before this goes up to try them separate of each other, and just to continue trying them in general. And so I'll let you know like how this wears throughout the day, the foundation, the powder, so on and so forth. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it's looking pretty good. Hopefully with some lip stuff, I'll feel like these are a little less dark. I'm also interested to see how this is gonna come off. Is this gonna come off in tubes? It's supposed to be a tubing formula, so that's like where your mind would automatically go, is that this is supposed to come off in tubes. I'll let you know that in the description box as well. Let's get into lip stuff. So I have 2 lip products to try out, and they're my final products. I've got the new Ilia Lip Sketch Hydrating Crayon in Banquet to try out. I think this is supposed to be like a beige pink. I am pretty excited about this. It's supposed to be like an all-in-one pencil, so you can line and fill in your lips. So the point is quite thick, but I still think it's going to be precise enough to line. Then I have another product I'm going to try on top of this, but let's just go ahead and put this on and see kind of how it works and how the shade is. Very smooth, not hard to control even though it's quite large. It's very, very smooth and quite easy actually to work with. So let's see kind of how it applies on this top, where I have a Cupid's bow to work with, and honestly I do have small lips, so I feel like I'm almost the perfect person to try this out to see if it's workable for everybody. All right, I do like the way this is looking. I like the pigmentation a lot. It's very workable. It's reminding me of the e.l.f. Lip liners that are like $2. I will be interested to see how this like wears throughout the day, or is it gonna fluff throughout the like outside of the lip lines. I'll let you know, like I said. But let's go ahead and fill them in. It's looking really nice. I really like this color. I don't really know if it's going with my eye look, maybe, but I do really like the color. It's really comfortable so far on the lips. It applied beautifully. So I'm really liking that so far. The next product I'm really excited about. I love a good lip oil. My favorite one is the e.l.f. lip oil. It's just my favorite. But Tarte has thrown their hat in the ring. This is the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Plumping Lip Oil. It's a plumping lip oil. And obviously Tarte is really known for their Maracuja line. It's a very similar package to their lip pens. It's got an interesting doe foot. I'm quite interested. It looks like it clicks. I love a good clicking lip pen. By the way, what shade did I get this in? I got this in the shade Spice. This is supposed to be like a nude shade, and I'm very excited. I don't know how much I'm supposed to click this, but I feel like I need to click it a little bit more. It's like coming out of the sides more so I guess I'll go in there. It smells good. It smells really good. It really smells like the Summer Fridays lip butter balms. Okay, that's looking beautiful. It's feeling good. I'm feeling a little bit of that plumping aspect. I do feel like this gets pretty messy around here, so I'm like wiping it off on the towel I have in my lap. I'm really liking the shade. I feel like it goes really nicely with the Ilia lip pencil that I just used. It's got like a minty feel. It smells just like the Summer Fridays lip butter balms. It's got that minty feel. I feel like you'll have very minimal plumping, but if you like that mint, it's nice. It's not gonna have like a super spicy feel, which I do not enjoy. Some people do. It just, I can't stand it. But it's feeling really nice. It's a very thin consistency, which is pretty much what a lip oil is supposed to be. I'm liking it. I do feel like it's gonna come off probably within the next hour, hour and a half, or I'm gonna have to probably reapply, but I do feel like it's really pretty. All right, so that is it. I feel like overall everything is really nice. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, hit that notification bell down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely go check out the rest of my channel also if you are new here, and see if you like what I put out there. We do this kind of stuff. I've done quite a lot of beauty stuff recently, but I also do lifestyle stuff. We're gonna have a bit more lifestyle stuff coming in the future, so stay tuned for that. But if you do check out my channel and you happen to like what you see, hit that subscribe button like I said, because I'd love to have you become a part of my family long term. We are growing a community over here, and I just want more friends, to be honest. I want more friends on the internet. So if you do enjoy me, definitely make sure that you click that subscribe button and do all the other things. But anyway, I think that is it. So I'm gonna go ahead and wish you guys the best rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.